Mass Effect as a game has a lot more to offer than just romances and squad mates. It has multiple different playstyles across the original trilogy, and while there is no right way to play Mass Effect, each of the classes your Commander Shepard can take have their pros and cons. In this series, I'll analyze the abilities, strengths, and weaknesses of each class across the Mass Effect trilogy to help you determine how you want to save the galaxy from the threat of the Reapers. It's time for Brain Over Brawn, the Engineer. Engineers are tech specialists that alter the flow of battle by disabling enemy weapons and lowering shields. Starting out, engineers can train with the pistol, which allows them to unlock marksmen. To make up for the lack of guns, engineers can learn all tech abilities. Decryption is a talent that allows engineers to unlock sealed doors and containers. Through it, engineers can learn sabotage. Sabotage is used to stop enemies from firing at you by overheating their weapons. It is useful against all gun-carrying enemies. Hacking is a talent that lowers the cooldowns of your other tech abilities, and it also unlocks AI hacking, which drives robotic enemies wild, causing them to attack anything that's nearby. Electronics allows you to repair and bypass objects, increase the strength of your shields, and allows you to repair more damage that's done to the Mako. Through electronics, engineers will also unlock Overload, which does tons of damage to enemy shields over a wide radius and reduces their damage protection. Damping is a tech talent that increases the radius of your tech proximity mines, and it shuts down enemy tech and biotics by putting them on cooldown. For Sustain, engineers have access to First Aid, which restores health upon activation. Engineers also get access to Medicine, which reduces the cooldown of First Aid. Through Medicine, engineers unlock Neural Shock, a power that paralyzes foes and does toxic damage. Engineers specialize in reducing their tech cooldowns and increasing their own tech protection. Engineers are weak in direct combat. Because they can only train with the pistol, they are only optimal at mid-range, and engineers can only equip light armor, offering very little in durability. Lastly, engineers don't have biotic or combat power, and will need to be carried by their squad. The engineer is mainly a support class. As such, you will need powerhouses. Rex will be a massive help thanks to his vast damage and biotic power. Both he and Ashley are the tankiest squad mates, and can form a defensive wall for engineers. Engineer is one of the more unique classes. Instead of all-out power, it's built so that the player can support their squad instead, offering a very unique gameplay experience. In Mass Effect 2, the Engineer adds SMGs to their arsenal, giving them more close-range damage. Engineers use their tech powers to strip away enemy defenses, deal direct damage, and distract foes. Overload returns as an energy blast that overpowers shields and deals damage to synthetic enemies. And at rank 3, Overload will overheat enemy weapons, stopping them from firing at you. AI hacking makes a comeback but has been upgraded. Now, synthetic enemies will be guaranteed to attack their own allies, making them powerful distractions. Incinerate is an exploding flame that does damage to health and burns through armor, and it does sustained damage over time. With Cryoblast, engineers can snap freeze their targets. Frozen enemies take double damage from weapons and from melee attacks. Combat Drone allows engineers to spawn a battle drone that draws the fire of their opponents. The engineer's passive is Tech Mastery. It offers increased health, lower cooldowns, longer power duration, and as an added bonus, it also lowers the cost of research in the tech lab. The main weakness of engineers is their inability to deal with biotic barriers. As such, companions with warp like Miranda and Thane are good options. Samara can also fulfill the same role once she unlocks Reeve. Engineers also struggle with long-range foes. Garrus and Zaid can do heavy damage from afar, making them a great fit here. In Mass Effect 2, the engineer is a very effective class. They can deal with the two most prominent types of health and have the advantage against the various synthetic foes in the game. Engineer is a great class if you're planning on tackling Insanity mode. Engineers are handicapped by the weight capacity in Mass Effect 3, sharing the lowest potential capacity with Adepts. Thankfully, engineers don't need guns and can pretty much let all their powers do the work for them. Incinerate can both prime and detonate power combos, and it combos greatly with Cryoblast, allowing you to do more damage to frozen targets. Cryoblast can apply numerous debuffs to enemies, such as speed reduction, armor weakening, freezing, and increased damage taken. Overload can chain to multiple different targets, and it can stun weak organic foes. Sabotage allows engineers to hack synthetics, and at its max rank, Sabotage will make hacked targets faster and do more damage. Combat Drone returns, and this time it's more than just a distraction. Combat Drone can detonate when destroyed, dealing tons of damage in a wide radius. It can deliver a short-range shock, stunning enemies and doing damage. And at its maxed rank, Combat Drone will fire a long-range rocket or create chaining electrical pulses that hit 3 targets. The Combat Drone is a powerful ally because it can trigger power combo explosions. The Engineer also picks up a sentry turret that can provide cover fire. It can shock foes and stun them, minimum, obtain cryo or armor piercing ammo, and at its max to rank, the sentry turret will obtain a rocket or a flamethrower. Honestly, there are no weaknesses of note here. The engineer can be so overpowered that it can practically break the game. You have Shepard, 2 squad mates, a combat drone that can be deployed at long range, and a defensive turret that can be thrown anywhere. And on top of that, you have Sabotage, which gives you control of a synthetic, at minimum giving you 6 units to work with. The engineer only has 2 things to worry about. It's low health and harvesters, which can shoot down your summons from long range. All in all though, the engineer is one of the best classes in Mass Effect 3. Great if you want to clear insanity.